So earlier today, I did an interview and I talked about how pod homes would be set up with some degree of computer access. Uh, of course, in the walkthrough, you see it's a screen and a keyboard right there. Maybe that's how it works, maybe not. That's a decision that has to be made above my pay grade. But I said something very specific. I don't want them in there playing video games all day. I say this with a slight degree of hypocrisy. When I was homeless, I was working nights, and um, sleeping during the day just was not going to happen, right? So for 3 days a week, I had to stay up awake all day, every day. I was kept awake during the day, and I had to stay awake at night. One of the things I would do is I would play video games all day, and that was one way to keep me going. Uh, that and coffee. Um, for those of you that follow the other channel, you may know the Umpqua story. That's what I was doing. I was just getting coffee and I was going to cruise on their internet to play games for about 6 hours. And then, of course, things happened as they did. But at any rate, uh, I recognize that there is that thing. I talked briefly about a guy that I see in Reading every time I go there in summer, walking around with a blanket on in the middle of Reading heat. Um, because of where I live in Reno, I don't see so much of it. He's doing that because he doesn't have anything else to do during the day. So he walks around with basically his entire possessions and just keeps wandering around in the street. And that's it. That's all he's got left to do in life. I had the slight advantage I could play those games, but even at the time, I understood this is not a good thing for me. As a matter of fact, I started mandatory carry at that time when I was homeless, partially so I could do something productive other than the video games. Now, part of how I was able to reconcile my little universe was I went back to school, I got that degree, that history degree, right? Um, but it still was not a good way forward. Give them something a little more productive to do than to sit around playing video games all day long, and they'll probably do it.